I think that a successful musician is somebody who pushes themselves to be better than they are. You go out, you buy your first guitar, you buy your first drum set, you come home and you don't know how to play the thing, but you sit there and you practice for hours and hours, and then you go form your own band, your first band, and you go out and you find other musicians, and maybe they're not the greatest musicians in the world, but you all get together and you all play, and you work hard, and maybe you get to play the local pubs or the local bars, the local scene, and if that's as far as you ever make it, I mean, how is that not successful? I don't think you can look at, these people that are selling 20 million records or selling out the Staples Center or Madison Square Garden for 6 nights in a row and say that those people are more successful than somebody else. Just like there's mainstream artists, there's independent artists that do just fine. People that support themselves with music that we don't hear about. And, in my mind, those people are more successful than the other people, because they know the value of working for everything for themselves and just continuing to work hard. And I think that if you're working hard, that you're a successful musician. This kind of thing it's a huge team. There's 6 cameras and a bunch of audio engineers running everything, running cables. We got the live room, we got the recording room, so we got guys on PA systems in the other room, lighting technicians, plus hours and hours of rehearsal time and spending just hours with the band, just the band getting comfortable with each other, and it takes a lot of time, and it takes time for everybody to come together, for everything to come together. The producer, John McLucas, produced the album. Great friend of mine, producer, great artist. Being a producer myself, I knew that I had to have somebody else produce the album, because I think that you get too attached to the songs, and you have to have somebody else's outside opinion. People ask me that question all the time. Why would you hire a producer when you're a producer? But they don't understand that you have to have a separation. I spent most of my time producing, other artists, so it's different for me to be on the other side. We call it the other side of the glass, but being on that side and being on this side are two totally different things. I think that performing is something that I've been doing for so long. I've been in so many different bands and played so many different shows and done so many different things that once I got older and started producing, people started trusting me to take their music and enhance their music. I had to get back on the other side. This side has energy, and I like the energy, and this side's a lot of decision making. And tonight I get to go out there and do what I love to do, is perform for people. Most of my songs come from a more personal place, for sure. I don't like to write songs about nothing. I like to have substance to the songs, and write from personal experience and situations in my life and other people's lives that are close around me and stuff. That's pretty much where everything comes from. It's personal. I'm not into the whole Billboard 100 thing. If I don't ever see one of my songs on the Billboard 100, I don't care. And there's no substance right now, and I do think that music is going back in the direction that in the direction of bands and people playing instruments, and I don't have a reason really to listen to the pop music. I mean, it's feel good music for sure, and everybody has their own preferences and stuff, and people it's good to listen to, if looking for a good beat or good something, but I'm not that interested. I like the older stuff, mainly country, a lot of country. Don Williams, he's my biggest inspiration. Don, he just retired recently too, which broke my heart a little bit, but it's gonna be all right. Thank you, Don, for everything. Johnny Cash, big time Johnny Cash. Him and Johnny Cash, they're so simple. Their songs are 3-4 chords or a blues or something that it catches people, and the lyrics they're meaningful, they're real. Leonard Skinner, a lot of southern rock, country rock, Alan Jackson, Garth Brooks, Kenny Chesney, all kinds of stuff like that. And then as I got older, I kind of grew into the rock thing, Foo Fighters, bands like that, and Kiss has always been a big influence of mine with the big stage show and everything. Without the band, I mean, the band has to feel like a family. It has to feel like everybody belongs. If you've got a drummer and bass player that aren't locking in together, or your guitar players they don't sound good together, their guitar tones aren't working together, it doesn't work. It'll never work. And the guys that I have behind me, and it's the greatest group of people that I think I could have found. I don't think there was anybody else. There was no other option. I wouldn't trade any one of them for anything. I had Lucas Bomeny play drums for me, and he's one of my best friends in the world, and I wouldn't have anybody else. And he's playing the show here with me tonight. I look up to him so much. He everything he does is he always thinks about other people, in the process of everything. And when putting together the show, he's done so much for me, with the show and helping out and always being my right hand man. you know, and he's been there for every step of the process. He's been there for the album. He's been there from rehearsing to record the album. He was there for the recording process. It's so important for me to have him around, and you know, I wouldn't have any other drummer. He's the guy I need to have him in the band. He leads the way.
It was great working with Max. He's such a professional guy. I had so much fun. He's super on top with his work, and it was great. I mean, he called me to play one song for him last year. I said yes. I was super excited to do it. A couple months later, he comes to me and says, okay, let's do an album. 10 songs. I'm like, all right, let's do this. He's like, we have to fly to New York to do this because I have the best studio with the best engineer, and I want to be there with my family, and we have to do it there. Can you do it? I'm like, sure. Why not? Let's go to New York. And Thibault was on board, bass player. He's a great bass player, great friend. I was super excited that he was going with us. John McLuke is the producer, super great guy, good friend too. So I was like feeling at home going with these guys to make this happen with Max. And all of them super professionals, great guys to work with, easy to work with. It was great. We went to New York. It was short time, 3 days only. We recorded the album, and it was great. I had lots of fun.
Live recording, it's stressful, man. It is stressful. There's so much that has to happen. You know, there's two sides of it that people don't see. You know, there's the recording, the audio side, and then there's the then there's the projecting the sound, the PA systems in the other room that the audience is hearing. You have two totally separate things. You have to find the balance, and you have to make everything work together. And if it's really live, you know, if all the instruments are live, it's not backtracked and everything, you know, it takes more work. But I feel that my music's very real, and when people come to my show, something's going good in their life, bad in their life, I want them to come through those doors and forget about everything and just get out, you know, get out on the floor, watch the band, and forget about everything and relate to the music. You know, that's the most important thing, is for people to relate to the music and to get out there and have a good time. You know, I want them to leave saying, all right, everybody took their talents that they have and they put them out there for us, not just, you know, backtracks and people singing and pretending to play. You know, that's never been my thing. I like live music. If you're paying money, if people are paying their hard-earned money to come to your show to watch you perform, you better perform for them. You know, you have to, and I think that's the only way to do it.